Hi, it's Miss P, and today I am going to be reviewing a free mood pattern. Yep, a free mood pattern, the Aster Pants pattern. Let me move over a little bit just so that when I insert stuff, I can put it over here without cutting off my head. So yeah, this is so I when I first started sewing, all of like maybe 8 months ago, I was looking for really affordable ways, and I am always looking for very affordable ways to be able to sew without investing overly much in patterns. And so I was looking up free patterns because I had taken a trip to Joann's when patterns were not on sale, and they were like $20 and up, and I was just like, I'm not going to be able to sew if I have to spend that much. So one of the girlies online said that they had a lot of free patterns on Mood. Now, I didn't know that that meant that I had to tape together 100,000 pieces of paper and then cut it out. But I had access to a printer. I had time. I figured I'd give it a try. So the first two patterns that I downloaded were the Aster pattern, and I think it was called the the Lantana pattern. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. So the pants, which is where I'm going to start, were the Aster pants. Now, as you can see, the Aster pants are an extremely wide leg, very baggy pleated pant. And I thought that would be really good. I've always liked wide leg pants. I know they're having a moment right now, but they've been having a moment my entire life. Every couple of years or so, I never take them out of rotation. I just wear them differently. So I just really love a fuller leg pant. So now, so that's why I picked this pattern, because I thought like, oh yeah, this will be very complimentary. Although they looked extremely large, and that's not usually the look, I kind of like it to kind of flow like from the hip, kind of get wide from the hip, and these just seem to start right at the waist to be wide. But I did like that they had pockets, and I did like that they had varying lengths if that was a choice, and I liked kind of the full skirt feel to it. So that's why I picked that. I cut a size 30. And when I was cutting it, before I cut it, I watched a video with a young lady, and um, she was a larger woman as well. And I was like, great, because that's my favorite thing to do, is to see a larger size person, which is why I do this, is because when you see your body type with a pattern, it, it really it really helps you decide what kind of adjustments you want to make. Even if the size isn't the same, if the proportions are similar, then you can say, oh, well, okay, because it's nothing worse than, it's one thing to go to a store and try on a dress or order a dress and it doesn't fit and you send it back. It's another thing to spend maybe 3 days trying to make something, and then once you're done, you don't have anything you can wear, and you've spent time and money. So it's always nice to see somebody have done it, who has already done it. So I saw this young lady who had done this pattern, this Aster pattern, and she was doing it on vacation, and she did it lined. And I thought, oh, for the fabric which I had, which what I used was this linen blend eyelet fabric in two tones. I had two pieces of it, and I thought it would be really cute if I color blocked it just a little, because it's so subtle that as you can see, like both colors are like, tonally very complementary, but just stand out just enough so that you can kind of see, a little contrast, a little interest. So I used this linen blend eyelet fabric. And so anyway, I was watching this girl, and I was like, oh man, like, and she showed pictures of her doing it. I didn't watch the whole video right away. I watched her video and I looked at the pictures and I paused it, and just got excited, and I started to make my pants. And when they were done, they were a little tight in the butt. They were very tight in the butt. So I went and watched the rest of her video, watched like that little bit that I missed. And at the end, she gave her alterations, which were, she made a butt adjustment so that it would accommodate her derriere, which was too late for me. So when I initially made these, they were quite tight on my butt, and they kind of flattened it out. And if I had looked at the pictures, of the women who were trying it, I would have known. I did. That's why I watched that video, because I looked at that picture, this picture specifically, and I was like, oh, that's she's got a whole different deal going on back there than I do, and there's no way that she's going to be able to. I'm going to be able to fit my butt fully in these pants. It's not going to be nice, and I was right. However, my body has changed and my proportions have changed a little bit, so now the pants fit, but now they're bigger in other places, like in the crotch of the pants there's a lot of extra fabric, and when I sit it kind of points up. It looks more masculine, so to speak. I'll use the term masculine in that area. And I even noticed while I was doing this video that there was a lot of moments when it looked like I had some stuff going on down there that I don't have going on. So yeah, that was that. So if I were to do it again, well, first let me talk about the alterations I made to the pattern. One is that I fully lined it, and in the directions, that's not something they did. I lined it because I thought that because it was an eyelet fabric, I didn't want anybody to be able to see through to my, to my body, even though the holes are really small and you're not going to see much. And I also thought it would add some structure to it. Now, in lining it, what I did was I made these pants super heavy. I mean, I used like a cotton, a very thin cotton, but it was like wearing two pairs of pants. So what that did was make this outfit kind of dysfunctional, because I can't quite wear it in the summer because the pants are so heavy, and I can't really wear it in the fall. So I really have a short window in the spring where I'll be able to wear this, and I probably will. Let's see if I made any other alterations. Yes, I did. So they recommend that you use a stretch crepe fabric. I didn't even notice that until I reviewed it again when I was getting ready to make this video. So, and I used the woven fabric. If I were to do it again, I definitely would use a drapier fabric. I don't know if I necessarily would need a stretch fabric. And if I did use a stretch fabric, I would go down to a size 24, given the change in my body and also the way, the extra space in them. And I would do a full butt adjustment. I would definitely do a full butt adjustment so that I would have room for my butt without adding all of that extra fabric to the sides and in between and all of that. I probably wouldn't do the zipper. I probably would make the outline so it would be a faux, fly front, and then I would just put elastic in the waist, because it's very rare that I'm actually wearing something that you can see it. And I like the idea of the way the elastic kind of pulls the waistband so that if you're tucking in your shirt, it still looks like a fly front. I'd also make the pockets a lot deeper, because I felt like the pockets were kind of shallow. Like I said, my alterations were minimal. The woman who I had watched, if I can think of her video, I'll add it on. Rating this item. If I'm rating the directions, mood directions are not for the faint of heart. You really should know how to sew and have sewn some things prior to using a mood pattern, because their directions kind of assume a lot and leave out kind of semi important things. So you really have to think a lot in order to figure it out. But I figured it out. I mean, like, I think it's a good challenge. It's a good way to see what you know and see how you understand, because, it helps you find out where your base knowledge is and not be as dependent on those directions. Because sometimes the directions throw you more than, your own idea of how to fix something. So I'd give the directions a 5. I'd give the fit a 6, because if you look at the pattern, the line drawing of the pattern, you know what you're getting. It's not like it's a big surprise. If that's what you're looking for, you're going to get that look. It really is a full leg pant. And I think that if I had used a softer drapier fabric, it would have even a more breezier spring, summer kind of feel to it. The ease of sewing, just because of the zipper, I'd give it a 7. And when I say 7, that's the difficulty level. It wasn't the easy level. It was kind of difficult because of the zipper, and you have that hook and eye closure, that skirt hook closure, and yeah, and you have that button and a buttonhole. So I would give it kind of, the difficulty is a 7. But without that, if you just kind of decided to make a flat front and use some elastic, oh, I give these like a, these are easy, like a three, without, if you don't do all of that. I think the hardest part without the fly front would be probably hemming the pants, maybe the waistband. It's all really very easy. So I used a serger for most of it, and I think that that worked out great. I'm going to leave this at part one because this is longer than I anticipated. And I'm going to make a part two for this jacket. Thank you for joining me. And as always, like and subscribe if you would like to like and subscribe. And I hope that you'll join me next time. Have a good day.